The Green Man. At the edge of Elderwood, where the oaks grew so old their roots remembered the first footsteps of humankind, there stood a church whose stones were stitched with ivy. Carved above its door, half swallowed by moss, was a face made of leaves, eyes hollowed by time, mouth spilling vines. The villagers called it a decoration, the children called it the Green Man, and the forest, listening, called him something older. Every spring, when the thaw loosened the soil and lambs wobbled on new legs, the villagers of Brackenfold brought offerings to the forest's edge: apples from the cellar, bread still warm, a cup of ale foaming like sunlight. They did not remember why they did this. Tradition, they said. Superstition, scoffed the younger folk. Yet no one dared stop. Except Rowan. Rowan had returned to Brackenfold after 10 years away, pockets thin and pride thinner. The city had taught him many things: how to measure worth in coin, how to laugh at old fears, but it had not taught him how to belong. When he saw the offerings laid at the forest's lip, he shook his head. "Food for foxes," he muttered, lifting the loaf. The forest breathed. It was a sound like wind through 1,000 leaves, though the air was still. Rowan froze, the bread heavy in his hands. From between the trees a figure stepped forward, bark slow and leaf soft, as if the forest were remembering how to walk. He was tall, broad as an oak trunk, his skin a tapestry of moss and living wood. Leaves unfurled where hair should be, green and gold with the promise of seasons. His eyes were dark soil, deep and patient. When he spoke, it was with the creak of boughs and the murmur of roots. "Gifts given are not taken back," said the Green Man. Rowan dropped the bread. He swallowed. "You're a story." The Green Man smiled, and in that smile were saplings and storms. "So are you." Rowan ran. For days he told no one. He slept poorly, dreamed of branches threading his ribs, of soil cool and kind against his skin. Crops began to fail. The wheat yellowed before its time. The river thinned, fish gasping in shallow pools. Whispers spread like mildew. The balance was broken. At last, old Mara, whose back was bent like a question mark, came to Rowan's door. "You saw him," she said, not asking, "and you offended him." Rowan bristled. "I didn't know. No one tells the truth here." Mara's eyes were sharp as thorns. "We tell it in rituals and carvings because the truth is too big for words. The Green Man is not a god to be flattered, nor a beast to be feared. He is the keeping of things, growth and rot, birth and return." "What does he want?" Rowan asked, softer now. "He wants remembering and mending." That night, Rowan returned to the forest with empty hands and a full heart. "I'm sorry," he said, to bark and leaf and listening dark. "Tell me how to set it right." The Green Man rose from the roots as if he had always been there. "You took without knowing, now give without counting." "I don't have much." "You have breath. You have time." So began Rowan's tending. He cleared choking brambles from young trees, mended fences so deer would not ruin the fields, carried water to the river's wounded bends. He listened to Mala's stories, to the forest's hush. The Green Man watched, sometimes guiding Rowan's hands, sometimes stepping back, patient as rain. As seasons turned, Rowan learned the language of leaves, how ash whispered of fire, how willow wept for water, how oak stood for endurance. He learned that rot was not an enemy, but a promise, that death fed life with generous hands. When a storm tore through Elderwood, Rowan did not curse it. He helped the forest heal. The villagers noticed. Crops greened, the river deepened. Children laughed again at the edge of the trees, unafraid. On Midsummer's Eve, they gathered where the offerings once lay, and found instead Rowan, crowned with fern and sweat, smiling like a man at home. The green man did not appear then. He never did when summoned by applause. Years passed. Rowan aged, his hair silvered like birch bark. On the night he felt his breath grow thin, he walked one last time into Elderwood. The green man stood waiting, leaves aflame with autumn. "You have kept well," he said. Rowan smiled. "I remembered." The forest opened its arms. When dawn came, the villagers found no body, only a young oak where Rowan had stood, its leaves bright as hope. And above the church door, the carved face seemed to smile, vines spilling from its mouth, forever reminding those who looked closely, "What we tend, tends us."